John Wilson here, Education Enrichment Director for West Angeles Church, with part two of What Should Your College List Look Like? Or parents, you can look at it as what should my youth's list look like, or youth, you can look at it as what your list should look like. We covered 2.5 to 3.0 last time, and now at 3.0 to 3.6. In that range, you pretty much have a few more freedoms to pick some affordable schools that are away. And you want to leverage schools that give money to students that are between 3.0 and 3.6. And every school does not. The majority of HBCUs, you're not going to get any merit money till you're above 3.8 or so. There's a couple that won't, that'll be okay. And I'll mention those in a minute. So first of all, you should apply to California State Universities if you're 3.0 to 3.5. You may be able to apply to some of the more selective ones, right? You might, or you might not, but I think you should have four. You should have two of them that you know you can get into. Talk to someone who knows CSU, maybe your counselor, maybe you can call me and I'll help you to figure out what schools those are. So two you should be easily able to get into. Then you can have two that are selective in CSU, or we call it admission impacted. Okay, so those schools, CSUs are one choice. You might wonder, should you apply to a UC? I don't think so, 3.0 to 3.6. But again, your school may require it or push you into a corner, or you may decide you want to apply anyway because you just want to see. And that's fine. Just want to see is fine in this process. I'm just telling you how I would handle it. I would not do a UC. I'd work on career oriented state schools like the CSUs, in and out of state, and start one for my career. You go to UC, you might get into a research mode and want to be in school for a while. There's nothing wrong with that. But, I'd rather see you applying to CSU if you're 3.0 to 3.5. Okay? All right, that should help, I hope. Uh, CSUs, UCs, I don't think so. And then, yeah, I think you could do some out of state universities nearby that are affordable, like a Boise State, like a Grand Canyon, not a state school, it's a private Christian college. I think University of Nevada, Reno. I think Colorado State University, Fort Collins. These are all affordable. Montana State, New Mexico State. What's the other one? Those are examples too. You might say, well, I don't want to go to those schools. And notice I did not mention Oregon State, UNLV, Arizona State, because they're very expensive. And I just wouldn't be looking at those schools primarily. Again, parents, if you're willing to take the debt to send your student to the school of their choice, or do you want them to go to school of their choice within reason? And that's where I think most of you are going to be. Okay? I hope that helps. Those are some good tips. What about if you want a black school that's affordable, that's in that 3.0 to 3.5 range, you can get into just about all those black schools. But I don't list them here because, there is associated cost with those schools. But there are some that do a good job of cost. I would say Delaware State. I would say Virginia State. These are traditionally black colleges. They're not private HBCUs. I think Bowie State in Maryland. I think Virginia State in Virginia, obviously. I think Norfolk State. Yeah, I mentioned Delaware State. I think all these schools, Jackson State, are going to be very affordable. Southern A&M are going to be very affordable, black, or much more affordable for a student that's 3.0, 3.5 than lower. All right, so that's very, very important. This is the schools that I would look at. Of course, I would still apply to CSU. CSU should be on everyone's list, California State University. If you're listening from another state, your state schools should be the top schools on your list, especially going into a potential recession year, and where your parents may be losing their jobs or have to quit early. All right, thank you very much. I hope that helps. I'll come back with how to make a college list part 3, and maybe I'll do a part 4 But stay tuned. Bye bye now.